Houston is now America's #1 market for new construction home sales. Earlier this year, builders sold just over 3,500 new construction homes in just the first 2 months. More than Dallas, more than Phoenix, more than Atlanta, more than Los Angeles, and every other major metro in the country. So if you're thinking about moving here to Houston, the reason Houston became #1 changes everything about when and where you should buy. Okay, if we haven't met yet, I'm Travis Harris with Travis Harris Signature Properties. And if this is your first time to the channel and you're thinking about moving or relocating to Houston, Texas, you've come to the right place. Every week, we share honest advice about Houston neighborhoods, new construction, school districts, commute times, and everything that you need to know to make a smart move. My team and I receive calls, texts, emails, and Zoom appointments every single day from people relocating to Houston, and we just love helping them make that move. So if you're thinking about relocating to Houston, just give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or schedule a Zoom consultation using the link in the description below. We'd be honored to help you make Houston home. All right, so why is Houston America's #1 new construction market? Well, it really comes down to 3 things: land, demand, and opportunity. First, Houston simply has room to grow. That's why you're seeing incredible master plan communities like Bridgeland, Elyson, Sienna, Sunterra, Harvest Green, Wood Forest, and many more continue to expand. Builders aren't just building neighborhoods. They're building complete communities with parks and trails, schools, shopping, and resort-style amenities. But land alone doesn't make Houston #1. The second reason is demand. People continue relocating here every single day for jobs, lower taxes, better affordability, and more home for their money. And the numbers back it up. During the first 2 months of the year, Houston sold just over 3,500 new construction homes, more than any other metro area in America. That's why builders continue investing here. And when builders compete, buyers benefit. You get more inventory, more choices, more negotiating power, which brings us to what I think is the biggest story: what this means for today's buyers. Now, here's why all of this matters. When builders compete, buyers win. And that's exactly what's happening across much of Houston area today. Just a few years ago, buyers were competing against multiple offers, paying over the asking price, and waiving contingencies just to get a home. Today, builders are competing for your business, and that creates opportunities. It's not uncommon to see builders offering below market interest rates, closing cost assistance, free appliances, blinds, gutters, sprinkler systems, and even price reductions. The biggest mistakes buyers are making is focusing only on the purchase price. Because one builder's home may cost $20,000 more, but if they're offering you a lower interest rate and paying your closing costs, you could actually spend less over the life of the loan. That's why today's buyers have more negotiating power than they've had in years. But if builders are offering all of these incentives, does that mean Houston is overbuilding? Let's talk about that next. Now, does all of this mean Houston is overbuilding? That's a fair question. When people see thousands of new homes being built, their first thought is usually, is this going to hurt my home's value? The short answer, not necessarily. Builders aren't building homes just to build homes. They're responding to demand. People continue moving to Houston every single day for jobs, for affordability, for no state income tax, and for the lifestyle. Now, does every community perform the same? Absolutely not. Some communities have more builders, more inventory, and they have more competition than others. That's why where you buy matters just as much as what you buy. A community with great schools, strong amenities, easy access to major employment centers, and continued demand is likely to perform very different than the ones without those advantages. So instead of asking, is Houston overbuilding? I think that the better question is this community positioned for long-term success? because that's what ultimately drives your home's value. So where do I think the best opportunities are right now? Let's take a look. All right, so where would I be looking if I were buying a brand new construction home today? I actually like to break it down by budget. If your budget is between $250,000 and $350,000, I'd be looking in communities like Creek Haven and Iowa Colony and Anniston and Katy. Both offer excellent value for buyers looking to get into brand new homes. If your budget is between $350,000 and $450,000, I'd be looking in Sunterra and Katy, Sorella and Tomball, and Fulshear Lakes and Fulshear. These communities offer great amenities, newer homes, and strong builder incentives. Now, if your budget is between $450,000 and $600,000, I really like Elyson and Katy, Meridiana and Manville, and Jordan Ranch in Fulshear. This is one of my favorite price points because you get a great balance of community, amenities, and home size. And if your budget is over $600,000, I'd be taking a serious look at Bridgeland and Cypress, Sienna and Missouri City, Valencia and Manville, and Meridiana, where there are still some outstanding opportunities if you know how to negotiate. Now, are these the only communities I'd recommend? Absolutely not. Every buyer has different priorities, whether that's school, commute, lifestyle, or simply just getting the most house for their money. But if you're relocating to Houston today, these are some of the communities I'd have at the top of my list for some great deals on new home construction. Now, what does all of this mean if you're trying to sell your home in today's market? The biggest thing that I see sellers need to understand is today's market is very different than the market we've experienced in 2021 and 2022. Back then, mortgage rates were in the 2 to 3% range. Inventory was incredibly low. Buyers were competing over almost every home, and many sellers could practically name their price. Today, buyers have options, and they're not just comparing your home to another resale home down the road. They're comparing it to brand new construction. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say you're selling your home at $500,000. Just down the street, a builder has a similar brand new home listed for $525,000. Now, most sellers would think, well, my home is $25,000 less. Mine should sell first. But if the builder is offering a 4.99% interest rate with 20% down, the buyer's monthly principal and interest payment is about $2,250. Now compare that to your $500,000 resale home financed at today's market rate at around 6.5%. That payment jumps to about $2,530 per month. So even though your home costs $25,000 less, the buyer is still paying almost $300 more every month. Then add homeowners insurance. A brand new home will usually have a lower insurance premiums because everything is new. If your resale home has an older roof, buyers may pay more for insurance or have a harder time finding coverage altogether. That's why buyers aren't just comparing prices anymore. They're comparing their total monthly cost of ownership. That's your competition. So if you're selling your home today, pricing your home correctly from day one is absolutely critical, because homes that are priced right, marketed well, and show beautifully are still selling every single day. So when is the best time to buy a new home in Houston? My answer is simple: when you're financially ready. Trying to perfectly time the market almost never works. Nobody knows when the interest rates are going to be coming back down or when today's builders' incentives will begin to disappear. What we do know is that buyers have something that they haven't had in years: choices, more inventory, more negotiating power, and builders competing for their business. That's why I believe today's market presents one of the best opportunities that we've seen in years for buyers looking at new home construction. Now, if interest rates come down in the future, that's great. You can always refinance your interest rate. But if builder incentives disappear or inventory begins to tighten, you may never get this opportunity again. So instead of asking, should I wait? Ask yourself, am I financially ready? Because if the answer is yes, this may be one of the best times that we've seen in years to buy a brand new home in Houston. Now, if you're thinking about relocating to Houston, or you're trying to decide which community makes the most sense for you and your family, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or schedule a Zoom consultation using the link in the description below. My team and I help people relocate to Houston every single day, and we'd be honored or love the opportunity to help you make that move here to Houston. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments section. If you were buying a new construction home today, which Houston community would you choose? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, we hope to show you around town.